Hi there. I am Meredy. I am the founder of LaserQuit. I wanted to have a quick consultation with you prior to your treatment, regardless of your location, because I want to make sure that you're successful and that you understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'm going to provide you with that basic information right now. And then when you go in and see your treatment specialist, you're going to see that she'll talk to you or he'll talk to you specifically about your triggers and the things that you're concerned about. So let's start by talking about how our world is shaped. Basically, the expectations we hold are created by what we are surrounded by. So our influence that we've received creates our expectations. The way it does that is because influence we receive from the outside world becomes our own perception. We choose to see it in a certain way because that's how we've been taught to see it. Our perception will create our belief system. So what we see, we will create into believing, and then it's in us. It's part of what we think is correct, which may not be correct. Our belief system that we accept then creates our expectations of others or of ourselves. So your expectation in this sense may be something like, I can't quit smoking, or something along those lines. And that's what we're going to work on today, is to teach you how to quit smoking. Our biggest belief is in having 3 steps to every moment that you're having a struggle. So 85% of our clients walk away and completely forget to smoke. They forget their drivers, they forget their triggers, and they just move on, which is wonderful. But what about the 15% of you who struggle? We want to make sure that using our 3 steps, you're able to create the success that you want. So our 3 steps is, first and foremost, remind yourself that you're an addict. This is exactly like heroin or cocaine. It's the same addiction, it's the same behaviors, it's a different drug. So we want you to think about that. And if you think about that, suddenly you understand how come it's so hard to stop doing. And that is really important. So you really need to understand that. And if in your moment you go back to that one thing and say, I'm an addict, that's why I'm struggling, it gives you a sense of relief, even for a moment. But that moment allows you to move on to the next step, which is going to be to distract your mind. So distracting your mind literally is just, I'm in a moment of boredom, I need to change what I'm doing. For me, it was cleaning out my kitchen one by one, or one cupboard by one cupboard, because I needed to keep myself busy and I was driving myself crazy. I took everything out of my Tupperware cupboard, I cleaned it, I dried it, I put it all back in. I now had a clean cupboard. At the end of my week, I will tell you I had a clean kitchen. So make sure you distract your mind, and by telling yourself not to think about a cigarette, you're in fact making yourself think about a cigarette. It's like me telling you, don't think about a red fire truck right now. What are you thinking about? So we don't want to focus on the things we don't want. You want to focus on the things you do want. So first and foremost, reminding yourself you're an addict, and second, distracting yourself. If distraction isn't working, I want you to go increase your heart rate. By getting active, you're going to re-release the endorphins that we've released. You're going to release exercise endorphins, and you're just going to make yourself feel overall better. It also will help rush your detox, which is a pretty crappy symptom or side effect of quitting smoking in any way. So we want to make sure that you are successful by doing the 3 things. Again, I'm going to remind you, you're an addict. Understand this is why I'm struggling. Now I'm going to move on to, I'm going to distract my mind, and then I'm going to increase my heart rate, because those things are going to be the key things to helping me get through those moments. It takes 2 minutes to get through a craving moment that is actually just a habit. So we have 6 major triggers, and that's for the majority of us. The majority of us have these triggers. So these triggers are after we eat, driving, stress, coffee, alcohol, or boredom. Now, if it's not the first 5, it's always boredom. So find things that you know you need to do, because as a smoker, we're really busy. So I want you to find things that you can do to distract yourself from the things that are driving you crazy, and boredom is going to be the biggest one. So I want you to remember these steps, because these steps are going to keep you from smoking, and in the long run, as this gets easier and easier, you'll find that you can come back to this video and watch it again to remind yourself. One of the things I want to touch base on so that you understand your own addiction is the 6 basic human needs. If we meet 3 or more of these human needs, we become addicted to the behavior regardless of the behavior. And I'll give you an example when I'm done. But our 6 basic human needs are certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, remember remember these four: growth and spirituality. Now, growth and spirituality are things you can only do for yourself. No outside source can help you with those ones. However, the other four needs can be met by outside sources. So, for example, if someone was depressed and they are aware that they're depressed, but it is serving them in a sense because people are doing things. So, the needs that are being met by someone being depressed is certainty, for one, because they're sure of what it's going to feel like when they get depressed. They know what it feels like. They're sitting in it. They're used to it. Uncertainty, because of that rush of emotions and that powerful, oh my gosh, moment of what's coming next. It's filling two of your needs. Significance, people are paying attention to you. People feel sorry for you. It's going to come around. So there's your significance. You stand out because poor you. Now, love and connection, again, poor you. In depression, it's easy to stay there because these four needs are being met by outside sources. So my suggestion to you is find different ways to meet these outside sources. These needs can be met yourself. You don't need to have someone else to meet them for you. So just make sure that you focus on some of these things, because if you realize why you're behaving the way you're behaving, you can choose to act differently. Now, we're going to meet your 6 basic human needs because we are going to give you 95% success rates. That's some pretty good certainty right there. Uncertainty. What will life be like without smoking? Do you know? I know, it's kind of cool, right? Significance. Being that smoking is no longer cool like it was back in the day, now you're no longer part of the group, and now you're significant. Kind of cool, especially because that's a pretty big achievement. Connection is that you understand your own addiction, your own reasoning, your own excuses. So you're understanding yourself, but you're also understanding other people. It makes you connect to me, understanding that I've been there and I understand what you're going through. So this helps you connect to yourself. You will have growth with your quitting smoking because now you are beating something that most people can't. Not only that, but you've conquered a really challenging addiction, and you did it by yourself. Connection, so helping other people to see that you are able to do it, so maybe they can too. And that's a pretty big deal. A lot of people go word of mouth. So we appreciate any referrals you guys pass on our way. Now, our habits and patterns are the things that often hold us back or show our challenges in quitting smoking. So I need you to understand a little metaphor for this. Imagine that you're walking through the grass to school every single day, or to work, whatever it is, every single day, the same path for 25 years. 365 days a year, you're doing the same path. That path is going to be very worn down. You're going to see just dirt. It's going to be packed. It's going to be deep. It's going to be set. Now, I want you, as soon as you come into our office, to get to the same location without walking down that path. So I'm going to ask you to walk down this path. I know you've created this one, but I want you to create this path. If you create this path, you're going to find that there's some stumps, there's some long grass, there's some things you're going to trip on, rocks you didn't expect. All of these things are completely normal in creating your new path. So you're still going to get to the result you want. You just have to go about it in a different way. The way that I want you to try this is imagine this. I'm taking a different route, and that different route may be challenging. So I'm going to create that different route, and I'm going to do what I need to do. Now, this is the exact same thing that goes in your brain. These are your neural pathways. So you have created the same path by doing it over and over and over again. Anytime we start something new, you have to do it over and over and over again. After a few years, you're going to be able to get past because all of this has been worn down. But this one is still there, even if it's starting to get covered up. So we really have to work on our habits. This is something you may fight the rest of your life. I know for me, I haven't smoked in over 7 years, and there's definitely moments that I have that I struggle with. So I just want you to be aware, and I want you to be prepared to do it. Now, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions when it comes to changing your behaviors. First of all, ask yourself, what need am I focusing on? Figure out that need. Then I want you to figure out, how am I going to meet that need? Because currently, the way you meet that need of covering the boredom, changing whatever moment you're in, is to have a cigarette. You're going to change that, or your drug of choice, or your food, or whatever it is. So you're going to change that with this. Just figure out what you're working on and why you're doing it. And then I want you to shift that a little bit. The smallest change or shift can create exactly what you need in that moment. So a lot of people, we recommend that you just come to us, send us a quick text, or give us a quick call. Whichever is your follow-up number, you do that. In reaching out to us, you're changing patterns. But instead of reaching for a cigarette, you're reaching for your phone. Reach for your phone, talk to us. We find even just having that moment of distraction is enough to get you through that moment as well. So reach out to us and let us support you, because that's what we're trained to do. Now, I want to quickly touch base on this whole belief that you're like, I can't quit smoking, because that's a big one. So first and foremost, I'm going to go through some questions. Now, you have said, or you think, I can't quit smoking. I want you to ask yourself, is this true? Could this be a misunderstanding in any way? Is there any information that I haven't tried? Is there anything like that? So I want you to really think about those things. Is there anything I haven't done to know for sure that I can't quit smoking? And your answer is going to be no, because you haven't tried laser therapy. So right there, I have changed your possibility with your quitting smoking, because there is something you haven't tried, so you don't know for sure. So now, how does it make you feel when you believe that thought? When you believe the fact that you can't quit smoking, how do you feel? You feel like failure. You feel like you're controlled. You feel like it's not worth trying to do. All of these things, they don't feel good. So now I want to ask you, if this thought didn't exist and you quit smoking after your treatment, how would you feel? Right? You would feel amazing. You'd be so excited that you're accomplishing something that you didn't think you could. Not only that, but you're doing it. You need to keep working on this. This is huge for you. Start to believe that you can quit smoking, and you will. You're halfway there just by believing. So there's 3 things that come up for any moment. And it's our state. Our state will determine our story, which then determines our strategy. So if you're not feeling very good about this and you're pretty upset and you're down and stuff like that, we're going to talk to you and try and get you back up. Because your state, being good, feeling awesome, is going to bring out the story that we want, which is I'm going to quit smoking, not I can't quit smoking with the really bad attitude. If you think about this, when you're in love and you're so in love with someone and you have no money and no job, you think it's all good, I don't care, I'll figure it out. And the reason for that is because of your state. Your state is I'm in love. Your story is I'll make anything happen. And your strategy is any way possible. So now I need you to think about this too. Put yourself in the right state. I can do this. The story is I'm going to use LaserQuit to do it. And the strategy is anything I need to do, including reaching out and using the support that I'm provided. So make sure you do that. Now, our 2 primary fears about this entire thing always come down to, if I fail, I'm not going to be loved, or if I fail, I'm not enough. This isn't true. You trying, I know that there's this fear that if I don't succeed, I'm going to be disappointing people. But I'm going to tell you now that you're disappointing people by continuing to smoke, not by trying and failing. Trying and failing is better than not trying at all. Your family loves you, your people love you, and you need to be around for them. So my suggestion is to give us this chance to prove to you that you can quit smoking. And if you need anything at all, you need to make sure you reach out. That's what we're here for.